Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. You are as welcome as can be. And we are the DADSON Wrestling,
That was a nice save. I'm like, how's he gonna pull the rest of that phrase off? That was good
but
shit.
not always.
Yeah, not always.
And
Not always.
today is definitely a not always occasion, as
Absolutely.
you can tell by our attire,
Yes.
as you can tell by the logo right above me, as you can tell by the way the word Disney appears right there, and
Yes.
the font for the Meacham and the JMN. I'm already the
You
studios,
need to start drinking to catch up with your tongue. No,
right?
actually, the
Nope, nope.
entirety of the studio is all Disneyed out because the top 10 TV shows is the Disneyland font. Your font is the Disney World font, and mine, of course, is Mickey
Oh,
Mouse.
of course, mine's the font for the place I've never been in my freaking life.
That's why I gave it to you. They give you a little Florida. Hell, it's felt like freaking Disney World here for a month and a half anyway. This damn humidity. So I figure, what the hell?
That's fair.
It has been nasty out here, y'all, for real. I know we haven't been together, just us on the air for a while, and haven't been completely Disney nerded out. Disneyland has felt like Disney World. It has been ridiculous how humid it's been at the happiest place on earth. Like the freaking humidest place on
Disneyland
earth.
has felt like Disney World.
Yeah,
They have the Country Bears back.
I tried. I tried so hard to freaking force me to move that Pooh Bear shit out of there, and it just wouldn't budge.
Tell you,
Unlike,
just put it over in DCA. Get
I
rid of the
know,
Wilderness Challenge Trail
I'm telling you.
and put the Bears back over there. Damn it.
Well, what's so silly is they took the Bears out, and we all have our theories on that, especially you about what happened a couple days
Hey.
after. But at the same time, DCA was already open by then. They could have put the Pooh Bear attraction over there. Like I know this is a Disney attraction show. We did that shit already, like a while ago. But still,
Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
wasn't too long after that show, if I remember that right. So it was probably in July on the park's birthday. That's what we tried to shoot for anyway.
Yes.
But we digress. Please buy that shirt, as JJ we know he has. So
I think I'm the only one that has, but that's okay.
it's probably an accurate statement. But we're not here to show our stuff just yet. That'll be the end of the show.
Yes, yes. But we are here, obviously, to discuss the top 10 Disney TV shows.
Yes.
Now, what constitutes a Disney TV show?
Yes. Much debated.
Very much debated because, truth be told, I did a list, Jeff did a list.
Yes.
And initially they were completely different lists.
Yes.
We had completely different approaches.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, let's try to weed this out some.
Yeah, reel it back in.
Because I see where you went.
Yes.
And you saw where I went.
Right.
And so does just about anything that aired on ABC count because ABC is owned by Disney?
Yes.
There's a dilemma right there because if you think about the classic TGIF lineup,
yes,
that aired on ABC,
yep,
most of that stuff was Warner Brothers.
Very much so. I can hear the credits in my head now at the end of all the freaking exit songs. Distributed by Warner Brothers Television Distribution. It's like, these aren't Buena Vista. I don't know what to do.
But they were ABC.
Exactly.
ABC's Disney.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like, we were just like, okay, let's kind of start fresh. And ironically, both of us had the same number 1, 2. So those were like, no ifs, ands, or buts. These are
thank you, God.
And so we have this little powwow. We debated, we discussed, and we came up with a cumulative list here because there were some things that I did that Jeff was like, I see where you're coming from, but I don't really know if I feel that.
Right.
And the same on Jeff's list. There are some things like he had the Golden Girls on there.
Yeah.
Honorable mention.
Yes.
But like, because they were Touchstone Television, Touchstone is a subsidiary of Disney.
Yes.
But when you think Golden Girls, you don't think Disney.
No.
So
you think NBC, first of all. Yeah. Well, actually, you think of sarcastic B. Arthur and oh God, what the hell? Rue McClanahan. I couldn't think of Blanche's name. Rue McClanahan. That was really bad of
And
me. By
Betty
the way.
White and
Oh, and Betty, of
Estelle
course.
Harris, right?
Yes, Betty White is still here. Yeah, very good. Good. Yes.
I always remembered the core three. It was always Estelle Harris that was the one always gave me a hard time trying to remember that name.
Well,
But
what's so funny? She was
B,
the youngest.
Rue, and Betty were the ones I always remember.
Yeah. The funny part was Estelle was the youngest, and she played the oldest one. That was funny, and played it well.
Yes, Keen Mike. I know Jeff already threw your comments up. Disney Channel absolutely counts.
Yeah, that was what it came down to.
However, shows that Disney acquired that aired on Disney Channel do not count.
Right. Yeah. What it ultimately came down to was
Growing Pains is a show that the Disney Channel acquired, but it wasn't a Disney production.
No.
So it doesn't count.
No.
Disney DX, Toon Disney, absolutely. I think, Keen Mike, once you see us start to break down our list, you're going to absolutely understand where we're going with this.
Right.
And, age definitely factors into this.
Yes.
Because some of us were around when the Disney Channel was launched. Some of us weren't born yet.
I was born. Excuse you. Maybe. 83, right?
Was it 83? I thought they were around before that. I could be
I'll look
off
it up as we go. I'll look it up as we go. I'm pretty sure I typed it because when we get to number 9, you'll see the original Disney Channel logo. That's how far back I went in my research. Good. And I'm pretty sure it came up as 83. Either way, if it was before March 1st, then yes, you're right. So I don't know for sure. But either way, you're going to see some that I never saw in their prime. You're going to see some that we saw far too much of in their prime because of our children.
Okay, so yes, you were born. It was April of 1983. So you were like a month and a half old.
I was a month and a half old. So I was alive, by God, when the original Star Wars trilogy was still playing and when Disney Channel launched, but it wasn't by much.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it was. Well, what we came down to was TGIF, ABC. It's like no. We also had to consider that when we were watching TGIF, technically when that original awesome lineup was launched, the company didn't even own ABC yet. Yeah. They were partners with Capital Cities, but we didn't own it. Right?
And by awesome lineup, we're talking like Perfect Strangers, Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step, Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Like
it was a
kind of like the Disney afternoon lineup we always boast about. Like the core four there.
Yep.
Then Boy Meets World, and then everything after just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And I'll save it because spoiler alert: Disney afternoon will come up. But
yes, yeah, but yeah, there was
kind of like how we always talk about. There was that core four.
Yep.
There was the next edition that was okay, and everything after that edition, it just kind of.
Yeah, and the same thing with number 7. There's a certain time period of what we're going to talk about that it's like, oh yeah, everything was a banger, and then it was like, okay, our kids grew up, and then it wasn't right. But number 10 is one that I have no way to wax proxy on. Never saw it, still haven't seen it. So you, my friend, this is all you, brother.
Okay, go ahead and throw it up, and I will discuss.
There you go.
DTV. Yes. Now, the reason that this came in at number 10 for me is because this was the one time Disney was behind the curve instead of ahead the curve.
Absolutely. Yes.
MTV launched in 1981. MTV, of course, music television. Back in my day, Sonny, they actually played music videos. And not freaking 16 and pregnant. Teen mom bullshit.
What a horrible lineup now. Oh, it's rough.
But yeah, so back in 81 when MTV launched, it was all music videos all the time.
Yes.
Disney decided that much as they do nowadays sometimes with their bumpers, where they will show like a music video of their Disney Channel star doing a song from their Disney original movie, their Disney Channel movie, or whatever the movie du jour is in theaters, whether it's Moana, Tangled, Frozen, etc. They took the old Disney shorts, they chopped them up, and they put classic rock tracks behind it. I have vivid memories of one particular block. It was DTV Monster Hits. And back in the day, that was my go-to Halloween jam. They had like Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Witch Hazel, the Trick or Treat episode with like Bad Moon Rising behind it.
I remember. Now you say that, I'm starting to picture that. You know what?
It was hosted by the Magic Mirror from Snow White. They had Stevie Wonder's Superstition as one of the tracks. But it was these classic rock songs set to bits of their shorts.
Okay.
DTV. Disney Television instead of MTV.
Right.
But because they were behind the curve, because MTV was 2 years ahead of them, they were always kind of playing catch up here.
Yes.
So that is the only reason why this is at number 10. But this was an integral part of my childhood.
Right.
DTV was the shit.
Right.
And you can find DTV on YouTube. You can find it there, Google it. It's think of it as the original version of the Disney sing-alongs, but without the words on the bottom of the screen. Like legit.
No, I agree. So, morbid curiosity question, but I think I'm having a muscle memory here.
Okay.
When they turned Stage 12 at DCA into the Disney Dance Club that we took the kids to 45,000 times and tried to get pictures and told off for it, were those the videos playing on the screen?
No.
Okay. It seemed very similar is why I'm asking. So
it was similar, but no. That was it. You can call it a reboot, if you will.
Okay, that's fair. People going to Stage 12.
Raymond, stay tuned, okay? We're only on number 10 right now. Give us time, my friend. Give us time.
We'll get there-ish.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 9. Now, while I'm more familiar with number 9 than I was at number 10, because I have seen, thanks to both you and Teresa, I've seen clips of both of these shows. It is a tie at number 9. Yes, we're copying out. Get over your damn selves.
Yeah. Let me just go ahead and interject right there. There's a few of these that we did a tie on. We did a little lump in because, because it's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like yin and yang. You know, it's Mickey and Minnie. It's Donald and Daisy. You know, you have to have them together for it to make sense.
Yes, especially later.
So please don't hold that against us as we go through these lists. Otherwise, you're just going to sit here racking your brains. Go ahead, Jeff. I didn't mean to step on you there.
No, you're good. You have to understand. This was hard enough as it was.
Yeah.
Trying to make one per entry. No, we are too big a pair of Disney nerds to have to try to do that shit that finite.
Absolutely.
Especially with this. Again, not my own prime Disney viewing, because again, before my ability to comprehend television, but I have seen clips thanks to the two of you, and I definitely want to talk about it, or at least have you wax the proxy from the old Disney Channel. Welcome to Pooh Corner and Dumbo Circus.
Again, like these were my childhood.
Yes.
Point blank period. This was my introduction to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Like maybe I saw the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh when I was younger, but again, you figure I was born in 76. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was 77.
Yeah.
These were some of the first shows that Disney Channel did, like 83, 84.
Yep.
So even if I had seen some of the Winnie the Pooh shorts back in the day,
right,
I wouldn't remember it.
No.
But I have vivid recollection of sitting down every morning at the kitchen table with my breakfast, watching these before I got dropped off for school.
Right.
This was my introduction to Winnie the Pooh. I forget the guy that hosted the show, but very much, the elderly gentleman storyteller who would sit in the chair and talk about
Oh,
his good friends from the 100 Acre Woods. And he
the
would
same guy that
open up
does a
the
narration
storybook.
of yeah.
He would open up the storybook that you saw in the chair there, and he would start telling us the stories of Winnie the Pooh. And then Dumbo's Circus. I mean, again, I had probably seen Dumbo, but watching Dumbo's Circus and seeing the character come to life in a non-animated way, as creepy as some of the costumes may have looked, I'm not even going to, we'll stay away from that part of things. Technology in the 80s, just saying.
Right. That's it.
But this was, unbeknownst to me at the time, my first introduction to Jim Cummings.
Yes, that's true.
Because if you throw the graphic up again,
I will get there. Hang on. Must scroll faster. There we go. Oh, stop it. You're not helping the stress.
The lion there who's kind of half cut off, that is voiced by Jim Cummings.
Yes. That's how it starts.
Like I said, unbeknownst to me at the time, that was my introduction to a man who literally has voiced my life.
Well, right. Yeah.
Like people talk about, if somebody could narrate their life story, who would they want? And most people say like Morgan Freeman or Sam Jackson. Nah, I want Jim Cummings to narrate my life.
No, I agree with that.
As entrenched as he is in the story of who I am.
Yes.
For real.
No, I agree with that. If anybody should narrate the story of the Renegade, it should be Jim Cummings, who's voiced he's like the John Ratzenberger for your life. He's been in every scene at one point or another.
Seriously. Especially if you go back, like those of y'all that are putting comments in the comment section, and we appreciate that. We will get to some of those as they come up on the list.
Yes.
But while you're waiting for us to get to some of your comments there, Google Jim Cummings and just look at everything that this man has done, both within and outside of Disney.
Yeah. Daniel, your comments especially. Look up Jim Cummings right now.
Yeah, for real.
And yes, both of yours are starred because we are getting to those.
But yeah, so and again, because these were so much more integral in my life as opposed to Jeff, is why they're so low on the list.
Yeah, this isn't a
knock at DTV, Welcome to Pooh Corner, or Dumbo's Circus.
No.
But it only really resonates with one of us.
Right.
Instead of both of us. So.
Yes. And honestly, those two, not a knock on their quality. Again, 1983, 84, 85, technology and CGI was not even remotely a thing.
Well, no, they weren't CG. No. They were dudes in suits.
Seriously, these are literally puppeteer. This is straight out of Jim Henson.
It was a two-man job, for real. Like, look at that image one more time. There are two people inside of Dumbo.
Wow, that came off really bad out of context if people just tuning in.
And then when you go to Welcome to Pooh Corner, it's people inside of the costumes. That is not animated.
No,
it's like going to the park.
I was going to say it's like one thing when they're watching a show.
Costume, a piglet costume, a rabbit costume, a tiger costume.
Yes, exactly. By the way, that is the original 1983 Disney Channel logo. That's how freaking retro it is. I'm telling the audience. Okay. That when Disney Channel launched, man, like everything had them weird. Like Halloween 3 and 82 looked like that with the credits. That's why they had such tribute to it for Halloween Ends, because that's how it looked back then. So it's not a knock on the quality of content by any stretch. These three shows, well, DTV was kind of like an experience more than a show.
It was a bumper, like I said. It was the filler. You figure a TV show was like 25 minutes.
Yep.
Because cable had no commercials.
That's true.
So what do you do to fill out those extra 5 minutes?
Yep.
boom, here's a little music video.
I'd forgotten cable didn't have commercial. I completely forgotten that till you said that right now. It's like, yeah, that's a good point. You can't do that shit now. Even in a few years down the line, there was commercials on cable. But yeah, like the early '80s when cable TV was still really starting to come into its own, they had that bumper spots because there were no like sponsor, heavy stuff. So that's why you watch the old All American Wrestling bumper stuff. You watch Raw commercials. Oh my God, the commercials, especially 3 hours worth. But then we get into the next two. We'll call it 2.5 because the one after the first two we're going to talk about aren't really our kids completely. It's all of us. But number 8 is, now granted, when these shows started, and by the way, we're getting into the Disney Channel later years here for number 8.
Yes, the more modern, if you will.
Yes, hence the big logo you're going to see across one of them here.
I was going to say they're old in retrospect now. Some of these shows are like 10 years old,
which is crazy.
But they're more modern than what we were just talking about.
Well, I mean, you got to figure our kids are 14 and 15, and I don't think they were born when any of these 3 shows actually started.
Right.
But because of reruns and because of some of them still being in their initial run, we watched them a lot.
Yes.
From Disney Channel back in we'll call it the mid to late 2000s.
Yes.
Wizards of Waverly Place, starring Selena Gomez, among many. Hannah Montana, starring Miley Cyrus before she lost her damn mind. We love her, but damn. And The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody before, I don't know if the twins are doing anything now, but Cole and Dylan Sprouse were Zach and, I don't know which one was which, so I'm just saying that. But yeah.
I don't remember which one it is, but one of them was on Riverdale as Jughead.
Oh, that's right. That's right. For Riverdale fans, my bad, because I'm going to catch major shit for that, because I got Riverdale fans in my circle.
I've never seen Riverdale, so I've no context, but I know that one of them was Jughead on Riverdale. So,
well, luckily it's my friend circle, not yours. You're safe. I'm not. I'm in massive shit for that now. That's okay.
Going back to Raymond's comment about Raven.
Yes,
Raven just never really connected with us the way that those did.
Yes, agreed.
Not taking anything away from it, because I do remember the whole That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana crossover that they did.
Yes.
I own that on DVD somewhere over here in my Disney library.
Yes.
Along with Wizards on Deck of Hannah Montana.
Yeah. He was Disney Plus before Disney Plus was a thing. Both of us, really.
But the Raven show just never really connected with us. But these 3,
oh yeah,
for whatever reason, just like really, really stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hannah, I think a lot of it had to do with Billy Ray.
I will agree with that at first. At least at first.
Yeah. Because being a 90s country fan, Billy Ray Cyrus being on the show, granted he's legitimately Miley's dad, so him playing her father wasn't a stretch.
No.
But him being on the show, I think, was a selling point for all of us.
Yes, it definitely was a good start off point for me becoming a fan of the show, and I'm sure for you as well. So
Wizards, Selena Gomez obviously was a big deal in the house.
Yeah.
And then Zach and Cody, I forget which one was the troublemaker. I think it was Zach on the show. Always gave me like the OG 50s Dennis the Menace vibes.
Yes, agreed.
The way he would always get into trouble. And I loved watching Dennis the Menace back in the day.
Yep.
So,
and I forget, again, this is my ignorance. I forget which of the 2 of them was in Big Daddy with Adam Sandler.
I think both of them were. I think because of the child laws back then, kind of like how Mary-Kate and Ashley both played Michelle.
Right.
I think they were able to trade out scenes so that one worked X amount of hours, one worked X amount of hours.
Because they were both really small when they did that. I know only Cole played the older but still a kid, Ben, on Friends as Ross's son with his first wife, Carol. So I know Cole Sprouse was doing TV before Sweet Life, but those guys and the cast of Sweet Life, Ashley Tisdale, who became a freaking major thing. And again, no, you are not going to see High School Musical on this, for the record. Number one, it's a movie.
Yeah. Same with Cheetah Girls.
Same with Cheetah Girls. We saw the comment there. And number two, High School Musical, the movie, or the series, the musical, no. Just no.
And just for the record, that was another thing that me and Jeff discussed last
Yes,
night,
you're
because
right.
Jeff had the Imagineering story on his list.
I did.
And while I appreciate his love for that show for what it is, that show's only been around the last 3 years. It's kind of hard to put anything that is a Disney Plus original series on a top 10 Disney show list when we're talking all time.
Right, which I conceded.
So any of the Disney Plus original series are not on here. There's no Mandalorian, there's no Santa Clauses, there's none of that stuff. High School Musical, the series, no, none of that is on here.
Right.
And again, Raymond, the Cheetah Girls was a movie, not a TV series.
Yes.
So,
if they make a series out of it, we'll revisit this.
It would be questionable.
It would be debatable, yes. But right now, we're safe from that. This one, however, neither of us were safe from.
No.
Ever. But you know what? I didn't mind it. Because
me either.
As junior, kid-driven as they were, a lot of these shows were still enjoyable to watch for any ages.
Yes.
The original Disney Junior lineup, when our kids started out, mine was 3, yours was 2, right up until the original lineup got completely shuffled around in 2017. So I gave it that gap of period. Yes, I put the whole lineup on there only because how do you pick any of them as better than? But you'll notice who Disney themselves showcased primarily: Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Doc McStuffins, which all 3 of those shows our kids loved at different stages during that time period. Sophia the First also toward the end of that period of time. But
Handy Manny, Special Agent Oso.
All of these shows, that a lot of them got incorporated into the stage show on Hollywood Boulevard in California Adventure that we had to go see every time, because God forbid the boy have us not see it every time. Love you, Dylan.
You know what? When some of us force the rest of us to go to Mickey's house every trip, others of us force the group to go to Muppet Vision 3D every trip, can we really hold it against the kids for wanting to go to that every trip?
No, and having seen what they replaced Muppet Vision and how they redid the Disney Junior show now, with all respect to the people at Imagineering and the people I work with, I love Philhar Magic. But anyway. But these shows that we watched religiously every single day.
Yeah. To the point where, again, if you go over to my archives here, to the Renegade Disney archives, you'll see DVDs of some of these. You'll see Mickey Mouse Clubhouse DVDs. You'll see Handy Nanny DVDs. You'll see Little Einstein's DVDs.
Hell yes. And I don't know where they line up in either of these, either the last entry or this one. So I'm going to throw them out there because we did talk about it a lot. The Imagination Movers.
Yes.
Those guys,
I had originally singled them and the Einsteins out.
Yes.
Out of everything in that lineup that Jeff just threw up there.
Yeah. I mean,
how can you single out one is better than the rest? I did.
He did. But again, we discussed
nothing to take away from any of the others.
Yeah.
But those 2, I think I loved the most out of all of the rest that were on the show.
Hell,
you go back to even the early incarnations of Playhouse Disney, before it was Disney Junior. Thank you for jumping the gun on me. And you talk about Bear in the Big Blue House.
That's all right.
You talk about JoJo's Circus. You talk about Stanley.
Yeah. There was, again, you mentioned earlier DTV was so behind the curve and so, playing catch up. Everything Disney TV, as far as for the kids did since then, has been So, well, to be fair, Bear and Big Blue House was very much here's the Henson Creature Shop giving them a big boost in the ass. That was so, and you can definitely see the Henson influence in Bear in the Big Blue House. That was very much a Henson Creature Shop, and it was so good. It was so good. I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed just happening to like if I'm flipping around the channel and happen to see it's like, you know what, I'm gonna sit back and watch this right now.
Noel
I've been watching forever.
Noel McNeil outdid himself as Bear.
Absolutely,
he really did.
He did. Yeah, it was a cool thing, and Playhouse Disney, if you remember, very much led it because it kind of morphed into Disney Junior because Playhouse Disney was a segment of the day of the Disney Channel. And then they went, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that's not getting a whole lot of airtime. Own channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it led to in 2011, which was fortuitous for us because we had just moved into the apartment in 2011. So it's like, oh, thank you, Disney gods, for this. We appreciate you. Because, man, choices were a beautiful thing when both kids weren't in school yet. Good Lord. All right, the next one. Just going to give our love to the boss because it's what we do on Disney. Number, where are we at here? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, halfway through. As it should. No, wait, that's not right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute. I knew number 5 was something else. So.
Jeff can't count by the shirt.
Jeff can't count Greg Cherry shirt if you can find it. But, okay, so it's not quite halfway. This is before we hit the halfway point. But, again, how can you not talk about Disney television without talking about these animated series? The House of Mouse and, of course, the TV movies, House of Mouse Villains, and Mickey's Magical Christmas, Snowed In at the House of Mouse. I got that right. I'm proud of my damn self.
Woohoo.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And yes, the bottom two were essentially the same series that just kind of evolved into different names, but Mickey Mouse and the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. Now, before JJ waxes proxy on this, I will say this. There was an article not too long ago on a website that I'm not going to give the name for. I'm not going to give credit for because they're knuckleheads. The headline was Disney ending Mickey Mouse. And they proceeded to go into this article trying to explain that we were going to retire Mickey and not have him be a thing anymore. That website knows who they are. Y'all stupid. They were ending the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. Like, relax. It was a beautiful, complete flip of the Mickey script that has been put out there for roughly 60 years, almost 70 years, because around 1938, 1940, Fantasia, and before that, the Whirlwind movie. God, I heard the first name of that movie. I'm gonna get killed at work. But they had changed not only Mickey's facial appearance completely from this, but they also changed how he was put out there to the world. He was the role model. He was the all-American guy the everybody could look up to. Prior to that, he was a little prankster and a little trouble stirrer.
Mm-hmm.
2013 to the end of the Wonderful World of Mickey series, very much a throwback to that, both in style and appearance and in content of story. And that's what made the shift from House of Mouse and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse so pronounced. Because you and I, we were already well adults by the point House of Mouse premiered, but it was still cool to watch because it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. Like, they really exist. They go hang out at this club every week, and they're showing the old shorts, but they're still interacting with the characters. But the characters are still who they are. The villains are still villains. The heroes are still heroes. And it was a fun, like I liken it to Muppets Tonight, or at least the attempt. In that, they're hanging out. They're doing the night show thing. It was a cool, unique situation. Whereas Clubhouse was very much, what are we going to learn today, boys and girls? What are we going to teach you guys here on the Clubhouse? And it was very preschool driven.
Yeah.
So
Clubhouse was definitely the Mickey Mouse attempted, like Dora, Blue's Clues.
Yes, very much so.
Those type of things. presence.
Talking to the camera for one thing.
Yeah.
You're
breaking the fourth wall.
Yes.
Whereas, waiting a couple of seconds for the kids at home to respond so that it's like they are involved in the story.
And how fortuitous for us to have that come along when our kids were starting to learn how to communicate with everybody in the world. And it was so, again, me being a Mickey person, you being a Donald person, you can see by the different hats, obviously. But, them retaining a lot of what the characters had always been, but still toned way down so it didn't seem like we were, or putting our characters in extreme peril. Now you had the occasional movie special like Adventures in Wonderland and the Clubhouse Hunt, which literally took the clubhouse apart and had to, and those songs got in our head forever. And I'm very mad at the company for that. As a result,
the clubhouse looked a lot like Mickey Mouse, number one.
Yeah, all day. And it wasn't just like, okay, they aired it and we're good. No. We had to buy the DVDs because we're gluttons for punishment. So, it was a thing. But I personally love all three of these series, really. I'm not going to try to, BS. But I enjoyed these. Yes, it's Mickey, but I enjoyed the complete different approaches. And it clicked. Oh, no, it did click right when I'll be damned. To portraying the boss as a completely different character. So very well done. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed them both so very much.
Agreed. And I had originally singled House of Mouse out on my list.
Yes.
Because I felt that in the grand scheme of Mickey the Mouse, at the time, it was the most different.
No, I agree with that.
Because most of the Mickey stuff that would come out was cookie cutter and formula at the time.
Yes.
Here was Mickey essentially being Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, right.
He's hosting this show with performances.
Yep.
You had Huey, Dewey, and Louie as the Quack Street Boys in one episode.
Oh my
you had
God,
the Big Bad Wolf play in one episode.
Yeah.
Then much like some of the other Muppet Show style skits, Pigs in Space, whatever, you would throw to the classic short, tie into the show, and whatever the theme of the episode was, they had some kind of classic short to tie into it.
Yes.
So maybe that's what it was that connected to me, being a Muppets fanatic as I am, was that it was basically an animated version of the Muppet Show. And then, like you said, you've got all the other characters kind of there in the audience, and sometimes they'd get involved in the plot, but most of the time they didn't. It was part like night show, variety show, and part episodic television series.
Yeah, it was different then, and that was the key thing. It was different than any Mickey presentation we'd seen up to that point, and we'll get to some of the other ones later. Like friggin' duh. But I, having not seen House of Mouse in its first run, but getting to watch it back thanks to you and all the DVDs and all the various collection of media over the years, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Mansfield, as you should be. You should be sorry, damn you.
That's right, especially considering all of the booty kicking and kissing that you'll be doing tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got stuff to make up for, boy. Anyway, before I get to number 5, let me to everybody that is even more Disney content anal compulsive than I am, and that is quite an accomplishment. Let me be clear on that. We understand that number 5 and number 2 that you're going to see later are the same show.
Okay, so you didn't see my private chat.
No, I did.
Okay, I said don't do that.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, sorry.
We're live, pal.
I said don't forget to mention. I'm sorry.
I said don't do that until we get to number 2.
Oh, okay. Well, Oops.
We're live, pal.
This is not the segment you meant to see. So
we're live, pal.
I have to keep saying it over and over. I already know I messed up. All right. Well, anyway, number 5, JJ made a very valid point to me in the differentiating of the two shows. But without this original version, there is no place for me to go be on stage every single day. There is no place for us to go visit the characters or to see the different lands of our Disney childhood or anything Disney at all. Without the show in 1953 and 54, Walt Disney's Disneyland, there's no Disneyland park.
Yes.
And you having the DVDs of that show and the video of the opening day, please tell us about the history of Walt Disney Disneyland, the television show, because that was just an awesome thing to look back on now that we finally have something on Disney Plus.
Well, like you kind of already mentioned, without this show, there would be no park. So that is why we differentiated it. That's why we put it out as its own separate entity. You could have the show at our number 2 without number 1 existing, but you could not have anything that followed this one.
No.
Without this existing.
Damn it.
Okay. What?
Sorry. I'm trying, guys. We're at tech issues. I'm sorry. I apologize. Or I don't like to do the shows a whole lot live all the time because we have tech issues. We have to try to edit that later. We're good. Go ahead.
I had pretty much said my piece about this. Because you had already said a good chunk of it, so I don't want to be redundant and repeat too much. So
it would be redundant because I didn't get a chance to explain because there was a lot more of the episodes of Walt Disney Disneyland than there was just the leading to premiere because he went more into it on the show, did he not?
Periodically, I mean, I haven't seen every single episode of Walt Disney's Disneyland, but I mean. You figure the show started in 1954, a whole year before the park opened.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't even alive.
Well, no.
And it's not like they repeat those, and it's not like those are on Disney Plus.
They've actually added a couple of the not the opening day yet, because Lord, there'd be some serious editing if they wanted to present that, without editing. But I know that the reason that if I'm trying to remember my park history, right? So forgive me. If I remember right, the reason that they went with Disneyland as the name was because of the show. It wasn't just the fact that we need a name for the park, and there were a few different ideas, like the Mickey Mouse Park was very generic, very whatever. But
you know what, Mansfield, you can kiss my big old booty.
That's right.
Over here super chatting away on everybody's channel except mine.
Did he really put that on mine?
He did.
Oh, what a butt. Well, I'll put it at the end. That way we can get to our numbers. But also, there was a major reason why this show and opening day at Disneyland was broadcast live on ABC, because ABC itself, before the company acquired Capital Cities in 1990, whatever the hell it was, they were a partner in funding the park.
Yes.
So when they were trying to come up with a company name, it's like, well, we've got Walt doing Disneyland, just call it that. Oh, okay, that actually makes sense. So, but I like the fact that as we were getting closer, and again, watching this many years later, because neither of us were born for 30 more years almost, but the fact that they went through and each time we had an episode of Disneyland, they would show a particular part of the park that was being developed. I thought that was neat. And, Jerry, who was around at this point, I'll go ahead and throw that up there. It was, and again, Must See TV is more the NBC slogan, but it became one of the, if I remember right, Jerry, it became one of the early, I got to see this to see what's going to happen. So,
well, yeah,
Must See TV before it was a thing.
The Disneyland show was looked forward to each week.
There you
Kind
go.
of says it all right there.
There you go. All right. Number 4, I insist you talk about, because without you, I wouldn't have seen this show in the first place. Yes, I had to binge it because I came into the game late. So, but
we all did. I came into this at the start of the 4th season.
Oh, really? Wow. That's when I came into it. So, wait. Oh, wait, no. I made it season 5. Anyway, we'll throw it up there. We'll talk about it.
But yes, Once Upon a Time comes in at number 4. I was going to give it a nice little build up, but we went ahead and just threw the graphic up early. So,
well, you didn't.
Gotta give you crap, Meacham.
This is why I don't like doing this show live, because we do so much better when we can. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. So it's all right. It's okay.
But Once Upon a Time, it's the newest show on our list.
Yeah, by a lot.
Which may surprise some people is why it is so highly ranked.
True.
But Once Upon a Time was something that came in super late to. The first season I actually watched, we'll use the term live on TV, as it unfolded on a weekly basis, was the season where Anna and Elsa were introduced, which I believe was season 4.
Okay, so that was the season I started watching. Wow, okay, all right.
We had seen that was coming.
Yes.
And so me and Mikey would go to the library, the Ruth Bach Library, and we rented the seasons.
Yeah. Wow.
And we just started with season 1, and we started going through it all. And we'd watch a couple of episodes a night and just plowed through, so that by the time we finished season 3, we were ready for season 4 to premiere on TV.
Okay, you know what it was then? Because I think I wanted to start watching when the Frozen characters got introduced, or it was the season after that. Either way, I know I had to borrow from you, because I borrowed the entire series from you at that point on DVD, and I brought it right here to this room and watched it on the big TV. And, was texting him after every episode. I don't hate the show, Jay.
Yeah. I don't think Once Upon a Time was underrated, Josh. I think there was definitely a point where Once Upon a Time got overrated.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I definitely feel like it was a sleeper show when it started, though.
Yes.
And the way that they took what we thought we knew and flipped everything on its ass.
Yes.
In the words of Roddy Piper, just when you think you have all the answers, I change the questions.
Yes.
That was very much Once Upon a Time. Case in point, look at Peter Pan.
Oh my God, right? I was hesitant to show Dylan that season.
Yeah. Look at Peter Pan and Hook. That is all I have to say for case in point.
For real. Yeah.
Some of them stayed true to their roots.
Yes.
Yeah. Charming and Snow.
But even then,
there was slight flips to them, but for the most part, they stayed to their root characters.
Yeah. If you think about the second half of that season when Anna and Elsa came, after they went back to Arendelle and they get the story, and again, we're not going to spoil too much because I do want everybody to watch this show. It is too damn good not to watch. And I know it's old, and that's fine. But when they get into the second half of that season where they're trying to find that character to help change everything around, Snow and Charming. And by the way, yes, they called the prince from Snow White Charming. I still don't know why. Cinderella's prince was Prince Charming. I don't understand it either. But they couldn't just call him David or James, so they had to give him a nickname. But and to be fair, I don't think the prince in Cinderella. Oh no, he had a name on Once Upon a Time. Anyway, even Snow and Charming had there was a very sinister undertone to where their arc went during that season because of the flashbacks. Right. So everybody had a different story. But you liken it to Roddy Piper. I liken it to Michael Hayes. Even a heel it can only be effective when they believe they are doing right, even if it's the most heinous of things. A true effective antagonist, or in this case, a lot of the times on the show, the protagonist believes they are doing the right thing, even if it's for the wrong reasons. And that's what made Once Upon a Time so much fun and so infuriating to watch and have to pause or have to wait a week by the time I got caught up, because it was so damn compelling television, even as it kind of got too much into its own shit toward the end. Again, I still feel the Frozen season was kind of one of those, okay, we're doing this because it's popular. Like, come on. But it was still, but I like the way they wove it into the fabric of our fairy tales. Matter of fact, how many fan theories did they come up with after Frozen? Because if you've watched the movie Frozen, Rapunzel is in, First Time in Forever, that scene, the number with the song. So they wove everybody together on once. And I thought that was so cool as a fairy tale person. So, okay. Back on track here. Got our stuff together. Number 3, dude, please.
Number 3 is another one that we had to take the cheap way out for, because there was no singling out, even though Jeff on his list originally did have one singled out.
I did.
For me, there's always been a block of these that is the be-all, end-all.
Yes.
And even though there's others pictured in the graphic that we're going to show.
Yes.
The Disney afternoon.
Right. Oh.
Specifically, DuckTales.
Yes.
Rescue Rangers. Tailspin.
Yep.
Darkwing Duck.
Oh, yeah.
And then Goof Troop.
Yep. Oh.
Never was a fan of the Gummy Bears, which was prior to DuckTales. Never was a fan of Bonkers on afterwards.
Right. There you go, Daniel.
But those 5 in particular, DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing, Goof Troop.
Yep.
Were the epitome. They were the elite.
Yes.
And they didn't have to do 25 super kicks per episode. They didn't have to throw temper tantrums in the locker room and say they won't work with certain people.
Oh boy.
Those were the elite.
Negaduck may have. We just don't know.
Hey, even Negaduck worked with 4 other men. They were called the Fearsome 5.
That's fair. That's a good point. Oh, Lord. That's funny. Because
you're a baby, yeah.
Because you're a fetus, Mansfield, but we love you anyway.
Because you're a youngster.
That's right. You know not yet what you're getting yourself into, and you're getting yourself into some shit watching these shows. Oh, boy. I love these shows. I always have.
Yes.
I even got to watch these. Now, granted, after school for me, it was a lot more of I was at the after school, child watch, daycare, whatever we're going to call it, at my school or at the YMCA. We will answer this question when we get to number 1. And I'll leave that however you want to interpret it, Jay. But anyway, yeah, just the characters alone in some of these shows, man.
Yeah. I mean, I always kind of had an issue with the movie turned animated series that they did. Like, I always felt that was, like you said about bringing Frozen into once. It was about milking the cash cow.
Yep.
The Little Mermaid, the series, Aladdin, the series, Timon and Pumbaa, the series.
Yes.
I'm good on all that.
I mean, I agree.
Even as much of a Mighty Ducks fan as I was, I never watched the animated Mighty Ducks series.
I tried.
Because when I saw that it was a cartoon, I was like, wait a minute. Is it at least like the voices from the movie? Like, is this some kind of... No? Okay, I'm good.
No, it's centered on Wild Wing being an actual character. It's like, oh, that's a hard no for me right off the jump.
Yeah.
Screw that freaking fire-ridden mascot from hell.
I agree, King Mike. The Buzz Lightyear Star Command show didn't get what it deserved as a show.
No.
A lot of that, though, is because it wasn't Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear.
Yep. I will give the guy credit, though.
It's like watching The Return of Jafar and Dan Castellaneta as the genie. It's like...
It's rough.
It ain't Robin. It ain't going to get the credit it deserves.
No.
It wasn't Tim Allen.
No.
It was a Tim Allen wannabe sound-alike. So it just wasn't going to get the push that it deserved.
Yeah, if I remember right, I believe they used the same guy for Star Command as they used for Astro Blasters. The same. Sounds pretty good, but it's not Tim. So but on the ride, at least, it's a very brief, like, he's talking and there you go. That's it. Having to watch it for a half hour every week, it's a little rough. There you go.
But yeah, the Disney afternoon, that was my come home from school, and I would watch that, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
3 till 5.
Absolutely. Every day.
Monday through Friday.
Yep. That is very much where I think the company wishes DTV would have gotten off the ground, is that block. And man, that original block was everything for Disney fans. And to this day, I'm glad that Darkwing and I'm glad Rescue Rangers got its own movie, because I know you love Rescue Rangers. I know Teresa loved Rescue Rangers. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was great.
But it took too long.
Yeah, it did. It took too long. And I think them doing the other ones now would be like...
I still sit here sometimes and I'm like, Goof Troop, really? That's the one we chose to make a movie at that time?
Yeah.
Nothing against Goofy, Mask, Pete, PJ, Pistol, Peg. Nothing against any of them. But when you think about Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, the animated series in the 90s, not the movie that came out a couple years ago, but you think about it at its height in the 90s. Yeah. You think about Tailspin, and you think about Darkwing Duck, and you think about how Batman was still riding high.
Right?
I mean, he is the Duck Knight instead of the Dark Knight.
Yes. And
they went with the Goof Troop movie?
To start, yeah.
Well, no, because they had already done the DuckTales movie. So Goof
That's
Troop was
fair.
The second one they had done. DuckTales made sense, though.
And DuckTales was good. Yeah.
Because with Scrooge and always being out for the big score, like, it made sense. It's basically an Indiana Jones style movie, but with the DuckTales crew.
Right.
So that made sense, but
yes,
you could have done any of those other three, and it would have been bigger. It would have made more sense than a Goof Troop movie. And at its core, all it is it's a cross-country road trip where Max is being a dick for 90 minutes trying to get to a concert.
So a typical teenager. Yeah, see, JJ and I agree. Gargoyles wasn't the jam, so I don't know about that one.
I don't know if Gargoyles is going to happen, dude. Like,
yeah. But as far as Darkwing, I know they kind of shoehorned him into the new DuckTales briefly for like a 2 or 3 episode arc. But if they're going to do it like they did the style of that and the tone of that, I'm kind of good on Darkwing coming back, unless it's classic Darkwing.
Yeah.
And I know Darkwing is much more your jam than it will ever be mine, like by a lot. I do love Darkwing, but damn.
If it's gonna happen, it needs to happen soon because Jim Cummings ain't getting no younger.
No.
He's still very active. He still does a lot of voice acting roles, but he's not getting any younger.
No, he's not.
If you're going to capitalize, it needs to be now.
Yes. As far as the Chip and Dale movie being close to the show, actually, and again, I'm not going to try to. I still encourage people to watch the movie. The movie was cute. It was too late.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
No, it's not. They basically made it that the movie took place in the real world, and they were talking about the success and then the lack of success in reruns of the show. So they're very much Roger Rabbit-esque.
Yes.
I'll leave it there. That way you guys can make your own decisions. But I felt no, was not close at all. A completely different tone. Okay, so here's where Jeff botched it earlier, but we'll go ahead and try to save it now.
So why don't I take the reins here, okay? So number 2, as Jeff botched and alluded to earlier, is the evolution, the continuation. It's a reboot, if you will, of what our number 5 was.
Yes.
Without Walt Disney's Disneyland, there is no Disneyland park. There's none of the other stuff that came on TV after. However, this was a different enough program in at least my mind that I was able to separate the two.
Agreed.
Because for us kids growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, our weekends began with TGIF on a Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
And our weekends ended on Sunday nights with The Wonderful World of Disney.
Yep.
Again, I know that this is basically a continuation of Walt Disney's Disneyland. But whereas Walt Disney's Disneyland was Walt hosting a show, giving you updates about the park, showing you some of the stories that inspired the lands that you would be able to experience within the park. The Wonderful World of Disney was basically Michael Eisner introducing a movie and you watching the selected Disney movie for the week.
Yep.
Therein lies the difference to me.
Yep. No, I agree.
And yeah, I mean, The Wonderful World of Disney is, like I said, that was the end of our weekend. Friday night was TGIF. Like I touched on earlier, it was Perfect Strangers. It was Full House. It was Family Matters. It was Step by Step. It was Boy Meets World. We went to bed. Then we woke up on Saturday and we watched our Saturday morning cartoons with our bowl of cereal on the floor in our pajamas still. And then the weekend ended on Sunday with The Wonderful World of Disney. Sometimes it was a classic live action movie like The Parent Trap or 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or The Love Bug. Sometimes it was a classic animated like Alice in Wonderland or Bambi or Pinocchio or Robin Hood.
Yep. Occasionally had a special though.
Yes.
And I forever credit, by the way, when I was putting together my I want Mickey Mouse content playing around the clock around here on my little TV, the Magical World of Disney had the Muppets at Walt Disney World special.
Yes.
And granted, Mickey's in it for like 5 minutes, if that. But it was Mickey as the boss of the company. It's great. And that was introduced by Michael Eisner in the lobby of the Grand Floridian, I believe. And the Muppets just kind of surround him and he goes, they're here. And that was when listen to me. That was when the company was still trying to acquire the Muppet stuff from Jim Henson. And they were themselves. We found out later.
Well, that was when they thought that they were going to acquire, but the deal fell through when Jim passed.
That's right. That's fair. That's okay. But no, he didn't pass. They wouldn't sell. Oh no. SNL, folks, look it up. Trust me. You'll either thank me or want to hang me effigy later. One or the other. Either way.
And you can find that special on YouTube in its entirety.
In its entirety, I have the whole
I
thing.
may or may not own a not quite legal copy of it on DVD. But going back to the "That's So Raven" comment from earlier.
Yes.
Watch that special, and there is a very young Raven Simone singing Rainbow Connection to Kermit.
Which is the cutest damn thing you ever did see. Oh my God. I think it was pre-Cosby Raven, if I remember right.
No, she was on Cosby at that point.
Oh, okay.
That's how she would have gotten the gig.
That's fair. That's true, because Magical World was on NBC at the time. So there you go. All right.
And now we come to number one.
Yeah.
And is there really any question what the number one Disney TV show for Disney is? All you got to do is look at our outfits.
Yes. And to answer Josh's question earlier, where was it? Let me find it here real quick. Where the hell did it go? Oh. Why, Josh?
Because we like you. Sometimes.
That's right. Sometimes.
Even though the look, there we go.
I got it. I fixed it. It's okay.
The Mickey Mouse Club.
Yes.
I mean, what can you really say about the Mickey Mouse Club that hasn't been said countless times by countless people over the last damn near 60 years? 70 years? 70 years.
70 years because same year as the park, 68 years. Jesus Christ.
For real. And we just made my dad need to go get his cookie and Ovaltine in the chat room.
Seriously.
You figure he was 7 pushing 8 when this debuted.
Christ. My dad wasn't even born yet. That's how long ago this show has been a thing, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But the Mickey Mouse Club, I mean, you've got to take a look at just the people that the Mickey Mouse Club introduced to the world.
Yeah.
The original incarnation with Annette Funicello.
Yeah.
The 70s was what it was.
Yeah, well, the 70s period.
But then you go to the 90s and Justin Timberlake, J.C. Chazet, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Carrie Russell, all were on the Mickey Mouse Club in the 90s.
Of course, Pop. Come on now.
Yeah, for real.
How could it not?
There really was no other alternative. Like, you could say Wonderful World of Disney 1A, 1B with these two.
Yeah.
But like we touched on with the Disneyland show, nothing that followed would have existed without that show.
Nope.
Figure Walt Disney's Disneyland was 54. Mickey Mouse Club was a whole year later.
Yep.
Because of the success of Walt Disney's Disneyland, we got the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yep.
But because of everybody that kind of came on that and the iconic imagery that comes with this logo.
Yeah.
You know, merchandising.
Oh my God. Like,
and then you figure all the ways it's been spun off over the years. You know, we touched on it briefly during the Mickey Mouse conglomerate at number 6, but House of Mouse, you know, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Both of those shows are direct spin-offs and indirect spin-offs of the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yep. Yeah. Think about the opening theme songs, especially of Clubhouse. M-I-C-K-E-Y. It's like they're doing the thing. They're doing the thing because of this show. beautiful thing. And the fact that Josh vaguely remembers Clubhouse, like, stop being a fetus. Like that's enough out of you.
For real.
God damn it, Mansfield.
Mansfield over here, Mansfielding.
Mansfield. That's right. Fergal be Fergaling on Monday nights. Mansfielding on the Friday. There's your next shirt. He's got a shirt coming tomorrow, though. We're going to tell about that later.
Brother.
Got your money. Come back tomorrow because we will be back tomorrow. Oh, not too bad. We did that.
But yes, so
that was good.
The Mickey Mouse Club, again. What do you say about it that hasn't already been said over the years?
Well, for one thing, put more than the first 5 episodes on Disney Plus.
Well, like I explained to you the last time we did a show, I think the reason those 5 are up there is because there was a Walt Disney's Treasures middle tin set of Mickey Mouse Club the first week. Pop owns it. So those are probably the only ones that have been cleaned up for like an HD presentation that aren't going to look grainy as shit.
That's fair.
On Disney Plus. They probably don't think that there's enough demand for everything else to be up there. They would be wrong.
100%.
Without question.
Yes.
But we're talking about the corporate level. They see what sells, and I'm not trying to knock my daughter's generation or even Mansfield's generation, since he's only slightly older than our kids.
Damn it.
But when you're in the corporate offices in Burbank and Glendale, and you see that the stuff that sells is High School Musical, Descendants, Teen Beach Movie, Hannah Montana, 1950s Mickey Mouse Club isn't exactly high on that to-do list. It doesn't fit that demographic.
But I counter by saying that if you use the parks as a Disney case study, which is probably the easiest damn case study you can do for Disney, is go to freaking parks and check out people there. That's why Santa Claus, real Santa Claus, goes to Disneyland every Christmas, because that's the most consolidated place you can go to see the magic of the kids. Yes, I said what I said. I challenge you to go to an average day at the park and not run into at least 20, and I'm not exaggerating that number, of some style of this shirt. It's all over the place. And as a matter of fact, the parks put out a shirt a couple of years ago. I have one. It's not here. I don't have it. But the original Mouseketeers logo with the scary looking Mickey face. I don't care.
Pretty sure Pop has that shirt.
It's a scary looking Mickey face. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's much less friendly looking than this nice happy face, and it's got Mouseketeers here. I have that shirt, like I said, because it's more original looking. You see that, you see this, you see that variety. But I don't wear white because Jeff and white don't go well together because of the dirt quotient. It's bad. But you see that with the red ringer. There's so many variants you see just in the parks. And my God, these freaking classic ears still sell like such gangbusters that there's about 4,500 spinoff versions of the classic ears.
And that's all great, but that doesn't mean that people are going to sit on their Disney Plus app and watch the countless hours of that. When people are tuning into things like The Mandalorian.
Fair.
I'm just saying. Just because you can walk through the park and see 20 shirts like this, people wearing them out of what's max capacity? 20,000?
Oh God, I hope not. That's a lot of people. But yeah, you're probably right. That's
a very small percentage.
I suppose so. You need to save that for November 18th, Josh. It's enough out of you. Save it, because we're gonna need that singing voice.
He's trying to kiss butt, and he still hasn't super chatted my channel. He's super chatted every other channel this week, but he still hasn't shown me any love.
Somebody's in trouble on August the 12th. Anyway, um, but that is our list as it is.
And it should be yours too.
And that's right. That's very much a Frank Meachamism, but we're going with it today. That's our opinion, and it should be yours. But
what do you guys think? What did we miss? Without going to the Meltzers of the multiverses, Josh Mansfield over here, who at 26 years old is going to pick all of the more recent stuff because he doesn't have any true connection to the elderly stuff.
I don't mind this choice by Joey here. Gravity Falls is pretty good.
Never watched it, so I have no opinion on it.
Well, Josh, yours doesn't count today because you're a fetus and you're already in trouble tomorrow, so we're just gonna let it be.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, Pop,
right.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
And there's even demand for original MMC from me and Jeff's generation because we were raised on it thanks to people from your generation.
Yes.
This is the, trickle down economics. This is the trickle down theory that Disney doesn't comprehend.
Don't seem to.
Because of you raising me on it, I and Teresa and Jeff would be showing Natalie and Dylan and Dennis, BB, Kyra that. But they don't think about it that way.
Yeah, they don't.
We would expose our kids to it because we were exposed to it through our parents.
Yep.
But unfortunately, ever since 1966, that line of thinking has kind of gone out of style in the Disney Corporation. No, you uncover his ear.
I will not.
He needs to hear this.
Today. I'm not getting fired today.
He needs to hear this because it is the truth. It's factual.
Everything ain't satisfactual, but you won't hear at the parks anymore either. But anyway.
And yes, please tell Josh to open the Disney Vault. Jesus Christ.
A lot of it's on Disney Plus anyway. They've done a very good job of cracking that giant safe open. It's been a hot minute, but they finally did it. So
if you can go on to Disney Plus and watch the Ewok movies.
Me, right? Seriously, the only thing that you absolutely cannot see out of the entire Star Wars library is that god-awful cocaine-heavy holiday special, but you can find on YouTube, by God.
But they do acknowledge the Boba Fett short, so it is partially up there.
Freaking stupid. Again, sorry, company, fire me. Fire me. I'm already fired. I don't care.
Josh is going to get fired. Look at his list here.
This mucker feather.
Now, to be fair,
I do like
those things were mentioned by us.
Yeah.
In one number.
Yeah.
But we did touch on Sweet Life, Hannah Montana, and Waverly Place.
And yes, we saw your comment about Girl Meets World getting much too short a run. I'm not going to disagree with that. Girl Meets World, I think, had more potential. And of course, Good Luck Charlie. Good Luck Charlie's cute as hell. I love that show. I really did.
Dude, Charlie is memeable, like for real. That's really a mood right there, to steal a phrase from my daughter.
Yeah. Kim Possible, I think, doesn't get enough love now, but it did when it was on. And Jesse, Jesus, we took the entirety of the family to the mall to meet frickin' Debbie Ryan. Okay, that's how much we love her on Sweet Life on Deck and Jesse. Like, seriously.
We went because of Sweet Life on Deck.
Right.
She was getting ready to launch Jesse.
Yeah. But yeah, we love Debbie Ryan. Or we did. I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but yeah. Your list is indicative of your age. We're not going to frown on it because we're old crotchety fuck doesn't mean you have to be either. That's okay. But it is our opinion and it should be yours. Just go back and crack open the damn Disney Vault like you were told.
Yes.
Although hopefully he did as he was told and did his homework.
Yes.
And completed his assignment.
Because Mansfield is going to be in the hot seat tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Make no plans, Josh. It is too late. There's no turning back now.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he's going to have to clean his house tomorrow.
You know what? No. No. And if you do, you will not be a happy. You will not want to come near our channel Sunday morning if you do. I promise you that. Fair point. Fair point. Off the top of your head, that's a fair list. But we will talk more about that after tomorrow, because tomorrow we want you to focus, my friend.
That's right. And what are we having him focus on?
Well, because today's the actual day, right? Like,
so we got to get the show in.
On the mouse. We wanted to focus on the Disney TV shows because we had a DADS scheduled, and I knew what day it was because it's also my grandmother's birthday. It's also the day we mentioned Jeannie earlier. It's also the anniversary of the day we lost Robin Williams, which isn't exactly a happy day either. But one person that is still alive and will be paid in tribute to tomorrow, brother. Open mic night will be a celebration of 70 years of Hulk Hogan. Yes, he wasn't Hulk Hogan the entire 70. Shut up back there. But we will pay tribute to the one, the only, the incredible, the immortal, whatever you want to call him. Hulk Hogan. No, not whatever you want to call him, because I ain't about to get a libel suit against me. But
it'll be Balea Mania on open mic night.
Balea Mania. I like that. That's good. That should be a shirt. Okay. I normally don't advocate anybody else stealing an idea, but if we can't get that shirt up in time, freaking Pritchard with his multiple ideas of Hulk Hogan shirts. Bruce, seriously, Conrad, come on, that's good shit, pal. He's only 70. Dude, suck it from the back, Mansfield. Seriously, I'm taking a Christian phrase. I don't give a damn anymore. Not Christian as in the religion. Christian as in our buddy Christian.
Yes.
Suck it from the back. Yes. And we will actually have one of those songs open the show tomorrow.
Yes. And Josh may have to perform a couple of those if we get super chatted enough.
If there's a karaoke level amount of super chat, I mean,
remember we had a stepping stool. I forget exactly what the stepladder was, but I think it was $50 in super chats. He does Eye of the Tiger.
Something like that.
$100, it's Real American.
Yes.
$150, it's the Wolfpack theme.
With lyrics, yes.
And then $200 was American Made.
Josh, this is because of you did. That's right. Yeah, you do. You have to learn those songs, Mansfield. Yes.
Yeah, please, because you botched Real American on No DQ on the review.
Oh. If ever there was a moment
when he tried to kiss butt and make up to it to Aaron and Virtue being on that show right after the article, he botched the lyrics to Real American. That's like singing the wrong words to the Star Spangled Banner.
Right.
When it comes to wrestling themes, like that is the level Real American is. Like, for real, how do you not know the words?
And if there was ever, well, first of all, the article didn't start the idea. Full disclosure, since we're gonna peel back and do inside baseball here, I went to JJ and said this wasn't generated because of Josh, but here's what we're doing on the 12th, and you very like, okay, well we're gonna make it about Josh. Like, okay, that's fair too. We can totally do it about that. Well, we have to get lots of money because you've been putting them into every other channel this week, so we have to get from somewhere. Anyway. Inside baseball's a mucker feather.
That's what makes it even worse, Mansfield. You had the lyrics in front of you, and you still botched it.
If there was ever a moment in the history of my 2030 cute, I was going to reach through the screen and defy physics and kill a mucker feather. Would have been that moment right there where he botched Real American. Whew, it was rough. But we're not only doing that tomorrow to infuriate Mansfield or to pay tribute to a birthday boy today. We got a lot of shit coming up.
Yes, we do.
As we do. Our regular content, if you will, next week, of course. Stat Boy Sports Bar next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. My show Tuesday, 10:05 Eastern. You're continuing on with your month of CC selected Renegades reviews.
Yes.
So tons of good stuff coming up next week. But then when we get to the end of the week, it just gets batshit. It really does.
And don't forget what's going on in the members only section right now.
Oh yes.
Because
I have
the people that are subscribed to the members only section only have till Tuesday to vote.
Yes.
In the community tab on one of these 4 matches.
I'm working on it. Keep going. It's not there for whatever reason because this damn thing hates my guts. There it is. Ha! I find.
Yes, you can vote on one of these 4 matches for the retro call that Noah and I are going to do this month. Believe it or not, as much as Brett and Davey from 92 is the standard bearer at SummerSlam, it is not currently in the lead.
Wow.
Currently winning right now is Benoit versus Orton.
No, that's the bad Josh.
Well, no. He votes for who he wants to vote for.
I know it.
But if anybody out there that is not a member of the members only section would like to cast their vote in this, you need to go sign up for the members only section. It is only $5 at the Casa D18 Studios, and you get all kinds of exclusive wrestling video content from yours truly.
Including
I reviewed pay-per-views like I did this week for SummerSlam 98. SummerSlam 88 went up last week. Next week will be SummerSlam 08. I review wrestling DVDs. I did a whole month of NXT coverage last month.
Yes.
This month I have 2 3-disc sets of The Shield that I'm going to be discussing. Lots of stuff. You get exclusive match calls, like the one that can be voted for right now. There's one up from last month where we did the original Money in the Bank match from WrestleMania 21, as well as the cash-in that went along with it. Jeff cashed in his briefcase and joined us for the cash-in portion.
I did, because it was a wonderful call. Good stuff.
Eventually, once we get to 30 subscribers, we will start doing exclusive watch-alongs on the members only section. So
that was a super chat Josh put in earlier that we were giving him shit about.
yes.
But yes, he also went and voted in your community as he said he was going to. So, and Daniel put a chat earlier that I starred. Yes, at one time we did have our hands on Power Rangers, but I will even concede that luckily Saban got it back and Nick has kind of taken it. And granted, not a fan of the more recent Power Rangers like a lot of folks are. I know I'm going to get to till it on my ass for that, but
subjective.
That's it, brother. That's it. So, but after this week with our usual fare and your members fare, we've got first of all, what's that?
So we gonna die.
Yeah, we gonna die. First of all,
Jar Jar style.
Lisa
gonna die.
Yeah, very much so. I would like to promote my friends in Paradise Kitty, but I got dinged for playing the video the other night because it actually has the actual Guns N' Roses track behind it. So
yeah,
UMC wasn't very happy with me on that one, rightfully so. I will say that. So I will instead pimp out on screen here. They'll be at the Iowa State Fair next Friday, and Big's Bar live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota on Saturday next week. Yes. And Saturday next week for us.
And really quickly before you go to Saturday next week, since you're shilling for somebody, I would like to take a minute to shill for a friend of ours.
Yes.
I would like to take a second to shill for Gutter Candy and Frankie Kazarian, who just dropped their cover of the Beatles' Come Together earlier today.
Yes.
Which I immediately listened to.
So good. Oh my God.
The vocal stylings on it left a little to be desired for me, but that's because of what a huge Beatle fanatic I am.
Yes.
But I specifically was trying to pay attention to the bass line because I know Frankie plays bass.
Right.
And he did a phenomenal job.
He did. Yes.
The track as a whole, I definitely give props to. Like I said, the vocal stylings on it, little bit to be desired for me, but
just a little bit.
Melodically and rhythmically, the music track was on point.
Yeah. And I will apologize to Frankie now because for the first time in not forever, but literally ever that I know of anyway, he is performing in Santa Clarita. He and Gutter Candy are going to be up here, along with the band you're going to hear open the show tomorrow, We Are Wasted, who is a local Santa Clarita band, which is why I love them so much and got to know them so well, on September 30th. So I wouldn't have been there. I would have been there instead of going to NXT in Bakersfield, because I don't go to Bakersfield on purpose if I can help it. But then I had the conversation with JJ. In mid-conversation, I went, shit, that's the weekend of the Halloween convention in Pasadena. So I'm completely missing Frankie coming to my hometown. However,
knowing Frankie, he may actually go to the Halloween convention and then you can just catch a ride with him to the show.
It really, I have not put that out of the realm of possibility, because it's luckily Pasadena. Well, no, what's so messed up, Jay? Really quick, they completely gutted and redesigned the Gold Line, so it doesn't go by the freaking Myers house no more. Like, you used to drop off right freaking there.
It's probably good and all.
Well, yes and no, because my plan was to go to the Myers house before the convention and then make my way through Pasadena. Now I gotta go all the way to LA and do a roundabout thing, which is gonna suck so bad. Anyway, if the convention hours allow, because I'm not going to the after party because I can't afford the extra shit, I will try to get back to Santa Clarita and catch Gutter Candy and We Are Wasted, because I really want to see Frankie. I really want to see We Are Wasted. And you guys will hear them tomorrow at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock East Coast kids. But anyway, Paradise Kitty again out in Iowa and South Dakota next weekend. I was fearful they were going to be in South Dakota the weekend of Sturgis. Luckily, they're missing that, because that's a crowded area in South Dakota for Sturgis. But then the 19th for us, open mic night, British Invasion style karaoke.
Yes.
Or Noah.
The famous Ringo here, Gia Fab. What is it I can do for you? Is it Gia Fab?
We know Noah's going to sing Barbie Girl.
Beatles.
Maybe
a little Rolling Stones.
I can't do my shills because the accent's too good. I can't stop giggling my dumbass self.
But yes, Noah has to do Barbie Girl, thanks to the super chat that came through.
$50, which helps. Shit, you know, that's tremendous. I also, it's very likely some deviant soul is going to make him sing Spice Girls, because we're just that evil in our community, and you know that'll get a tickle out of Caitlin, which will be funnier than shit.
I happen to know for a fact that one particular person is saving their money for both British Invasion night and Disney night to get Noah. So
now, in discussing Disney night, I was going to plug that later, but since you brought it up, I'll do it now. If rumors are to be believed by certain folks that actually appeared on my channel this week, we're not only doing that on November 18th, but AEW is going to be here.
Yeah, Tony Khan just hates us.
Tony Khan and his allegedly cocaine-induced curly-haired self. Damn him.
Like, he couldn't do it the week before.
No. Well, I mean, to be fair, Veterans Day, so I get that.
Even better, Veterans Weekend. Like, people are going to be off on Monday.
Or do it on Sunday, you turd.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Collision on Saturday, Full Gear Sunday. Everyone is off on Monday and they can recover.
Yep, but no.
And just have both shows be at the Forum.
Yeah, so it's at the Forum, for one thing, which means...
Assuming that the rumors are true.
Yes, which means I would have loved to an AEW pay-per-view, a wrestling pay-per-view at the Forum. Like buck or feather, but no. I already have plans on the 18th. That is booked. That is concrete. I have been talking with our media department backstage to arrange shit for this. as Pepe Le Pew would say, "Ay, ay." So, if it ends up not materializing, we were still have Disney karaoke that night, obviously. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have another mega stream because we're not tired enough on this damn multiverse media.
I say we do 2 separate streams.
Either way, we're going to be on the air for 8 freaking hours.
Yes, but I say we do 2 separate streams for this one.
Well, definitely. Especially my original plan was to do one, and then I had my other boss inform me that he's still going to do a recap of the show anyway. So because he's available, so it's like, okay, well, if Aaron's going to do something, then we'll just make it separate on Mike Night because we're going to have it be separate anyway. So that is the plan for that. But before we get to November, after next weekend's Open Mic Night British Invasion, we'll have a watch along on Sunday with Emergence from Impact / New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's not the right one. That's Multiverse United. Just kidding. Emergence is the following week. Botch. Here we go with Jeff again. Let me move that down where it's supposed to be. Give it a watch. We actually added this one this week because it is the Renegade's birthday on Tuesday the 22nd. So whether or not there is a Talk Wrestling that night is to be determined based on my availability of signal at the House of Mouse because I will be there that night. And apparently the next day too because, whatever. But NXT Heatwave will be live on Multiverse Media. NWA 75 Night 1, which will be subtitled James Cleanup Crew Department if Natalya wins the world title from Camille. Because
Natalia Markova. Natalia from the WWE.
Yes, sorry. I always forget her last name. So sorry. Natalia Markova is challenging for the Burke. So whether or not she wins, we'll probably need a James Cleanup Crew for him calling that match.
That's fair.
That's more than fair. There you go. Same birthday. I didn't know that. Very cool. Happy birthday in advance to both of you. We'll definitely do all the birthday things on the 22nd for sure. And if I do have Talk Wrestling, we'll make it for sure. But I'll even sing to you for free. I don't have to worry about a super chat. You can super chat me all the hell you want on that day, please, for JJ, because we need the super chats for JJ. But
since someone still hasn't super chatted my channel this week,
at all, including today when one of his shows are on live right now. And yes, if any of y'all spoil SmackDown before we get off the air, there will be blood. Because I'm purposely going to watch 8 o'clock. So
same.
So let's see. Where are we at on play? There we go.
I still need to watch Dynamite.
I mean that's fair. And my asking you to watch a particular match, my assessment of it was way wrong. I went back and watched it again. It's better than I thought it was. So there you go. Then Sunday the 27th, we have our...
Yes, we should go and die.
We should definitely going to die because, to be fair, we get a good amount of time to nap in between. So there is that. Or rest or whatever you want to call it. All in Sunday morning because it's 1 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern. So 10 a.m. for us. So 9 o'clock will be on the air in theory. And then Emergence that night, plus a recap of night 2 of the NWA 75. Will we see the end of Tyrus's career? Will we see EC3 finally get a world championship that isn't attached to his aunt's company? I'd like to see that for EC3. I'm a fan of EC3. I know people kind of shit on EC3, and there's justifiably for a lot of
different when it comes to Derek Bateman.
That's fair. I'm a fan of EC3. Derek Bateman, not so much.
I'm a fan of Derek Bateman, not a fan of EC3.
Oh, well, there you go.
I liked him back on NXT. So, you froze.
That's true because my signal's gone. There it is. Hey, Jesus Christ, everything's bopping out. That sucks. I hate that preseason football is preempting anything. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I know y'all NFL fans, or a lot of you NFL fans. I think that's bullshit. Go away, chat. Damn it. Anyway. I think I plugged everything I wanted to plug. Yeah, I did. Cool. All right, we're done. Yay. Only took 1 hour and 40 instead of 2. That was good. But yes, thank you all again for well, we always do that during SmackDown, Josh. We know better. Any of the no DQ chats, any of the chats besides our own, we always avoid. So definitely You know the irony of a company thing losing a feed during one of our Disney streams. That's good stuff. All right, let's wrap it up before we get too haywire, or more haywire than we have been with the technology.
So, we thank you all for joining us and tuning in for this extravaganza this afternoon, evening.
Yes.
What are your top 10 Disney TV shows? Let us know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over there next to Meacham. If you're watching on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Engage us in that conversation. Let's have conversation, discussion, debate, interaction, super stickers, super likes, share, subscribe, join the members only section of the Casa D18 Studios channel. And until 2 weeks from now, when we bring the next installment of the Dads, Not Always on Wrestling. I am the Renegade JJ Williams. He is the man whose name is generally on the marquee, the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham. And now it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
That's right. MIC.
See you real soon.
KY.
Why? Because we like you. Except for you, Mansfield.
Shit. It's time for SmackDown. Good night, everybody.